Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 on this January the 16th as we roll into our show number 753. And we're really proud to have on this segment some guys that I go back a long way with. And, you know, I'm middle-aged for a 144-year-old man, so I let people figure out that and how old I am. And these guys will always be young. But I know when we say Mossy Oak, there's some certain names that pop up. And, of course, Bill Sugg, we're glad to have you, and we're glad to have Cuz Strickland on us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Larry.
Hey.
Good morning, Larry. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Had a great time when I visited with you guys. I hope to come back there in the spring and get the update. How's the golf course looking?
Oh, it's looking good. They got about 90% of it done before the cold weather hit with
wow.
November growing season being extended like it was. They're really in good shape. The excitement's building. I wanted to make one comment so your listeners will know how long this relationship has been on. We've known Larry since right after the Civil War.
That's right. Exactly right. Yeah,
he was white-headed and wearing a gray horse back then.
That's exactly right, but it was the horse I ride now is in front of Kroger's. Okay, so that's as far as a horse will get on for me. But, hey, I can remember, too, now, man, you used to be, you sold real estate, didn't you? I mean, you worked for George Bryant. Didn't you work for Bryant Foods, too?
Well, actually, I did work for Bryant Food and then had an insurance business.
There you go, insurance. Okay.
And I was in the right place at the right time and back in the beginning of Mossy Oaks. It's been a fun and a very quick blink your eyes and it'll disappear 30 years.
Isn't that right? And because I know that when I was down there and I did a story and on three companies in that area, you guys were just kicking it off. It was about 1990. You were getting off and bringing it up. And I know Bill back in 1986. This is the 30th anniversary for Mossy Oak. It just, my gosh, you guys rolled. I mean,
I actually incorporated the business in the spring of '86, and then started some mail order ads in the summer of '86, and then in the fall is when I was fortunate enough to join the cause a little bit, and we started knocking on the doors with some dealers. And by that December, we sort of realized we just might have a tiger by the tail. So we
30 years ago
got on full board.
30 years ago with a simple fistful of dirt. And I know, Cuz, when you had that camera all wrapped up in that camo, you had that first impression, and those animals didn't see you, and you were able to film things that you thought you'd never be able to film, right?
Yeah, that's that was a big deal when you're in the camouflage business. Pictures will usually do a good job. You don't always have to have the written word, and it's always been a big sales tool for us to show those kind of, hey, where's Waldo kind of shots. We still love those.
Yeah. And when you got over 1,000 licensees and partners, wow. But you guys still are in West Point. So,
back in those days, you mentioned in that 1990 article that you talked about, actually had been Small Businessman of the Year way back when, and he was asked during that process, why did he do it in West Point, Mississippi? And his immediate answer was, well, I never thought of doing it anywhere else.
No, it was.
That's one of the blessings we've had is to be able to do it in the town we grew up, and then the other blessing is all the great people that have jumped on the wagon along the way, starting with many others and Cuz.
Yes.
And, Cuz has been a West Pontian now for how long, Ronnie?
I've been here for 25 years.
Wow.
I didn't know he was all here. Okay, so that's a long time, and I can remember Bottomland. Was that the first?
There was. There were two of them. There was Bottomland, which is the brown version that has sustained throughout time and is still almost having a resurgence right now.
Yeah.
And Hill Country, which was a gray version.
That's what we were talking about. I don't know how many camo patterns I have in my attic. When I replaced Henry Reynolds, he was still wearing his World War II outfit. And when I became the outdoor editor at the Commercial Appeal in April of 1988, it was just getting started with the camo patterns. And now you can kind of look, and I'm just blown away when I walk in the store how many. I don't know how many different camo patterns there are out there, but do you guys research that? Do you know?
We've lost count because there have been a lot that come in and out and come and go, and we keep our head down and do our thing, and have been fortunate along the way to get a lot of followers of the Mossy Oak brand, and they've supported us and allowed us to achieve the success we've had. And Cuz's comment about being able to show the pattern, that's always been an advantage in advertising and marketing, particularly in the print world.
Yes,
and also in the TV media world. Is the fact that you can really show the benefit of your product on a page of a magazine, which you can't always do that with a lot of products. And been very blessed. And Cuz kicking us off in the video world and then starting in TV in 1995, we were told at that time, Ronnie was told this, and it didn't take him long to turn back and tell us it was true, that TV will change your life.
Yes, yeah.
And it did in our exposure world. And
it's done
all because of his hard work and creativity and getting us started in that world. And you talk about a competitive environment. Now there are over 600 TV shows, hunting and fishing TV shows in the market.
600.
So,
wow. And I can remember some of the original ones. The tape would break, when you couldn't get the VCR to work right. And the 8-track didn't work.
Yeah, you made war tales about that.
Yeah. When Ronnie would go out there that first time. Now, Bill, were you the first employee hired by?
I was.
Huh?
I was very fortunate. I was.
You were, and so Ronnie, you came by since when? When did you join the team?
Late '87.
Okay.
I've been a part, for a long time.
Yeah.
I still lived in Natchez.
We consider Ronnie and Pam two founders.
Yeah, I knew you. I knew you.
Years don't matter. It's the impact that matters. And
and
we never imagined ever having done it without them or doing it without them.
And you can go, folks. I was just telling the people off the air. You can go and visit these guys and walk in and think, "Hey, this is just like down to earth folks." Because you guys have a team that hasn't changed much over the years, has it, Bill?
We haven't, Larry, and the folks that have joined us along the way. I just. For this interview, I went back and just checked. We have about 20 employees that have been here 20 to 25 years or longer, and about another 20 that have been here 15 years or longer.
Yeah,
so
and
we've probably got 50 or 60 employees that have been or more that have been here 10 or longer years, and all great folks. And I would be remiss without mentioning another founder. It's still near and dear in our hearts and forever will be, and that's Bob Dixon.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
'87, and unfortunately passed away to cancer.
Yes, but he was there too when I was a young pup starting off again. And again, we're talking to Bill Sugg and Ronnie Cuz Strickland about Mossy Oak when they celebrate the 30th anniversary this year. And I know you guys never thought you'd be in the property business. Biologic, gamekeepers, moose media, and all these other things, and now you're stepping into the golf world. I mean, you've had a little bit of that in some of the things. I remember you worked some and had a show with Hal Sutton, and some of the other ones. But
right, Cuz put all that together. It's one called Second Season that was on the Outdoor Channel for a year.
Yes,
on the Golf Channel for a year.
Well, it still needs to be there. It was one of my favorite. Me being a golfer and love that. But tell our listeners out there a little bit about what Bill. I know, and Cuz, tell them too. One of you guys kind of explain where we are in the golf course process right now.
Well, that all came about because of George Bryan, the founder and owner of Old Waverly, approached us about the project he had of building this new world-class golf course with Gil Hines, top 5 architect, and he just said, "What do you think?" He is a minimalist type architect, and we know how Mossy Oak stands for conservation and the outdoors. You have native nurseries and biologic, Mossy Oak properties. Is there a possible match? And we had some ensuing discussions, and the results of that was coming up with naming the course Mossy Oak Nature's Golf.
Nature's Golf.
The whole idea behind that, as I think I told you, Larry, when you were here, and you subsequently put that in an article, is that when you walk on that piece of property, you look around and you just say, I think God intended for this to be
That's right. That's
It's
exactly
a natural piece of property. And that's how it got started. The whole project is still driven by Old Waverly and George.
Yes.
And we're a part of it on the land. We're a part of it by lending our brand to it. Toxie has a company called Moles, Mossy Oak Land Enhancement Services, that have some dirt construction equipment and operators, and they help do some of the early clearing. So he's been very hands-on in the early part of this. But the actual construction and all that and the management and the long-range plans will be executed by Old Waverly and George. But we're just thrilled to be excited about it. You know, Toxie has a saying quite often, and it's sort of our mantra, is live your best life outdoors.
Yeah.
Golf is a part of that.
It is.
And for our brand, even though for a lot of people they sort of blink and say, how does that work? Well, under that heading, it does work really well because there's millions of enthusiastic golfers in this country, and there's a large group of travel golfers that go around, play courses all over the country. I think that number's somewhere around 3 million.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and of course, I have a camo bag. I think I have a camo ball, but I can't find it.
Isn't it amazing? Not just us, but the other brands. But since the mid '80s, how common it is to see camouflage decoration in all facets of our life.
Yeah, there's a you could get head covers, in camo, but guys,
and golf balls.
Yeah.
And I can't find the white ones.
No. I use colored ones now. I have yellow, and pink works real good for me too. But I
need a blinking light on mine sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
far out of bounds.
We get one of those when you go in the water out there at the new course that they'll float. Okay, so that's what you need. So, hey guys, I appreciate it. Are we still looking at maybe September somewhere around that? I know George.
The opening will be that first weekend in September of 2016.
Wow. Okay, I'm on the list, Lord willing. Okay.
Sure.
I'll be working on it and everything. Ronnie, Cuz Strickland, thank you, buddy. Bill, thank you, buddy. Great memories, and folks, just Google Mossy Oak, and it'll blow your mind what these guys have done. We'll stay in touch. Happy 30th anniversary, and keep me in the loop, okay?
Thanks for being our friend all these years, Larry.
All right, buddy. We'll see y'all.
Buddy.
All right. All right, let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.